If you had known. Suppose that, 1 year ago, we all had realized that the next president would behave bizarrely, erratically, unconstitutionally and perhaps treasonously. What follows is a list to consider, the first 4 months of our currently acting US president's record. Please ask yourself, your neighbors and colleagues, what if you had known ahead of time that the president had gone bankrupt many times while claiming to know how to fix the economy? The president had been sued many times over substantial claims of financial impropriety. The president would immediately dismantle the most effective and wide-ranging environmental protections in the world. The president would immediately begin deporting people who had been here for decades, seeking citizenship. The president would insult people of color, people of religion, people of different orientations. The president would immediately begin to destroy a carefully constructed healthcare system, thus eliminating services for millions. The president would make unacceptable comments regarding sexual assault upon women. The president would order his staff to lie about their contacts with foreign governments. The president had massive debts to foreign entities and businesses. The president owns business interests in many countries. The president would conduct unauthorized military action instantly upon taking office. The president would fire the FBI director investigating him and his team. The president would urge the jailing of journalists who oppose him. The president would appoint cabinet members with major foreign business interests. The president would attempt to remove strong protections of public lands. The president would accuse all who question his statements of hatred, lying and misrepresentation. The president would suggest spending billions on a wall many believe will cost hundreds of billions and accomplish little. The president would meet secretly with foreign government officials and their journalists, whilst excluding American press from the conversation. The president would appoint a cabinet of people beholden to powerful business interests. The president would attempt to control the local law enforcement agencies unprecedentedly. The president would censure the intelligence agencies regarding executive, administrative matters. The president would choose to communicate to the public by way of Twitter, 140 characters at a time. The president would choose to leave the country to conduct massive, unprecedented weapons sales, while facing many issues here at home. The president would provoke foreign nations which possess nuclear weapons while pushing for increasing the US inventory of such weapons. The president would appoint judges and attorneys who must now recuse themselves from investigations. The president would hold many meetings with foreign dignitaries at his private golf resort, hidden from the public eye. The president would require several $1 million a day to protect his private hotels, residences and resorts. The president would insult all who oppose him instead of simply addressing his opponents politely. The president would request a military parade with missile launchers and tanks for his inauguration. The president would consistently claim he was tremendous, great, huge, without explanation. The president would insist that inconvenient facts must be lies, untrue or fake news. The president would claim that all who disagree with him are just flat out, plain, wrong. The president would govern with less than 30% of the population having voted for him. The president would ignore normal procedures, such as flying on Air Force One, living in the White House and conducting government meetings on government properties. The president would appoint his family members as senior advisors. The president would publicly criticize companies refusing to endorse his daughter's corporate product image. The president would publicly endorse world leaders whom are known to be associated with human rights, civil liberties and war crime violations of international law. The president would insist that anything written about him must be untrue or fake. The president would hand extrajudicial authority to the military to decide the time and place of strikes in foreign lands which we are not at legal war with. The first 100 days, having been partially described above, beg the question about the next 1300 days. What else don't we know? Knowing these things about your future president, would you so vote again for such strange, inappropriate and egregious actions by the president? The American people were not provided much of a choice in 2016. Several candidates might be described, by the above lists, as violating our trust. In order to protect American values, liberties and security, we, the people, should maintain vigilance and accountability regarding our elected officials. One must ask the question, is the acting president helping us? Is his cabinet meant to represent us in any way? And, finally, is our president of sound mind? Mentally competent? Can he serve well as commander-in-chief and president of the highest office in the land? Did you vote? Will you protect our collective rights? Will you resist the erosion of democracy?